We started the first question. Due to the government policy, Shop Choi Cha that would like to stimulate the spending before end of the year, and how Lazada takes this campaign to activate the online sales activities.
So I think this is a very interesting campaign for our sellers and brand on the platform. It gives really the opportunity for the consumer to save money during the end of the period, and also to increase spending. So we've seen since the very beginning a very good uplift, and we've seen that people tend to spend more and to buy higher ticket items. So I think there is a propensity also to spend more money into electronics or more expensive gadget. And I think the reality is this type of policy is working pretty well, but at the same time, we are an online platform, so it's also posing some complexity on the operation side to make sure that the invoice reach the customer and all the information are filled properly. So I think one of the big push that we have seen also recently is that some of our sellers are working already to generate e-invoice, and we have some of our more sophisticated sellers that have started this year using e-invoices to reach the customer faster. So I think in the future, if this continue to be kind of a year-end promotion that the government is willing to support also in the next years, we will see that improvement on the invoicing and technology will generally make a lot easier for consumers to benefit of this policy also online.
Okay, and after the implementation of the policy, how is the feedback and how is the response from the online customers?
I think the response is very good. First of all, because the first day of this campaign, implementation was the beginning of our, online festival. So that was on the 11/11. So we have seen, very good result for them, and also we have seen that in the other initiatives that we had during the month, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, people really shopped more, and I think they still have opportunity up until the 3rd of December to benefit from this. But I also know that we are working very hard for our grand finale, which starts on the 12th of December for 3 days. So I think people should keep some money as well to buy the best deal towards the end of our campaign.
Okay, how you promote the campaign? Via the online or another channel?
So our campaign, we have promoted our campaign in two different ways. Heavily online, so with using our traditional online channel, so like social media, our mobile application like TrueLine. But I think this year, since it was starting together with our online festival, we also used more traditional offline channel like TV. So we had a very huge presence with the TV commercial. But most importantly, for the first time in Southeast Asia, we had a fully dedicated 1.5 hour show with celebrities and entertainment, for consumers to kick off our online festival.
And for the next year things, can you provide a business perspective of the Lazada in Thailand, in the Thailand shopping market, compare with another country in the Southeast Asia? What do you think in the next year?
So I think e-commerce continues to grow very strong across Southeast Asia, and I think it's been one of the key trends worldwide. So there is no country in the world that has not experienced in the last 5 years a growth of e-commerce, in particular growth of e-commerce as penetration of traditional retail sales. So this is continuing to be very strong in Southeast Asia. I think Thailand is clearly leading the path in terms of adoption, and it is mostly driven by change in the behavior of consumer, that they spend more and more time online through mobile devices. So they spend, like we say, that in excess of 7 hours a day spent on mobile, surfing internet, checking Facebook, checking Line, shopping online on Lazada. So I think these are all opportunities that make the customer more engaged with the platform, and we expect next year to be extremely strong for us and for the e-commerce in general, and in particular to grow more outside of Bangkok, and to grow a lot more in category where people purchase more frequently. So we see fashion and health and beauty as the two big category leading e-commerce adoption in Thailand and Southeast Asia.
Okay. And the final question, the last one, let me check. The last one, can you provide a sample of the solution or the technology that can help Thai people to shopping more effectively? Maybe the technology that you already use, or maybe the technology
Yes.
that you already plan?
I think when it comes to what type of technology we are offering to consumer to shop better, I would like to divide this into two different categories. One is the consumer-facing technology, so which are mostly based on mobile technology, so our application. And we are working very hard to make this more and more responsive to consumer behavior. So we will launch in the near future an application that is also more responsive to personalization and to the ability to predict what a consumer likes and to show more of the products that he likes. So this will be on the consumer facing. And the second one, which is like also linked to the seller on the other side, we want to make easier for the seller to sell on the platform and to fulfill the consumer needs. So we had a number of initiatives this year that are already going into this direction. Most of the initiatives are related to sharing more information and data to the seller to take decisions. So we launched for the first time a seller portal where the seller can learn more about the data, like the sales, the information, and take decisions on how to boost their sales. And on the other side, we also work in giving the opportunity for everyone to have their own shop front. So now every seller can independently decorate their own shop front, and they can add value to the customer journey, make it more relevant. So I think we are working in both directions to make easier for consumers to shop, but also to make easier for seller on our platform to offer products to our customers to shop.
Okay. I have one question from myself.
Yes.
Maybe not included in the question list. I think many of the Thai people interest to join as the reseller of the Lazada. Can you provide the good concept or maybe the good characteristic of the product that they have before?
I think there is, like on the beauty of e-commerce is that you can really sell everything on the platform. So we've been in the market now for close to 6 years, and if you look at the number of products that we have available on the website, is already close to 40 million. So that means that people can really sell everything. So my recommendation to existing sellers and people that already have their offline business and their trade, and they know what to do better offline, is to continue to sell what they know online and to learn how it is the best technique to sell online, but not to move away from their categories. If I have to recommend for a new seller that they want to start this from scratch, and in particular to new entrepreneur, I think there is clearly certain trend that they are very attractive. But sometimes when you have a strong trend like fashion, health and beauty, you also face a very big competition. So I suggest everyone to study the market with attention, and if you find some place that is very competitive, maybe try to be and stay away of it, and try to find your niche where you can play and create your customer base. I think the market is growing so fast and there is so many opportunities that sometimes it's not worth to enter into vertical where there is already a big competition. Okay?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Our journalist, he has one.
Yes, sure.
Question. ถามว่าอะไรคือจุดแข็งของ Lazada ที่เมื่อเทียบกับ another e-commerce in Thailand อย่างเงี้ยครับที่แบบว่า
When compare with another market online, for example, another competitor,
Okay.
what is your strength of the Lazada?
Our strength.
Yeah.
So I think when you look at one key strength is that we are market leader.
Yeah.
So we have the largest pool of consumer, customer, and by every metrics, if you look at app download, traffic on our website, we are number one. I think that is clearly a very strong selling point for our seller when they want to pick on which platform spend most of their time and their energy to drive the sales. I think on the other side, a clear differentiator for us is a customer experience. We have always been looking at Southeast Asia as a market that has complexities to be fixed, and some of these complexities are related to how you deliver the e-commerce experience in the best way to the customer. So we always look at two very big buckets. One is payment. It's not very easy for consumer in Southeast Asia to close transaction online, and this goes mostly for two reasons. One is that credit card penetration is very low, and also trust in using credit card online is not there yet. So there is a propensity for people not to use prepaid method. And to avoid this, we were the first one, and I think today we are still the only one to offer 100% cash on delivery payment option to the customer. And we've been working very hard to offer this to all the products delivered from Thailand to Thailand, but also to extend this to cross-border product, they are delivering from internationally into Thailand. So I think this is a very unique selling point for us. On the other side is our focus on developing a logistic network that can support the growth of e-commerce. I think it's clear that not every market is as lucky as Thailand when it comes to infrastructure. Some other markets have a worse infrastructure that is basically cutting aside part of the country from e-commerce. And I think we've been working very strongly with our logistic arm, but also with our partners to make sure that we can really have a truly nationwide reach. And this is something that we are also very proud, and it's a clear differentiator for us. Okay? Thank you very much. Thank you.